الآخرة ويوم يقوم الأشهاد اللهم آمين يا رب العالمين. Today, inshallah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we're going to have a short talk about Surah التكاثر. Few days ago, we studied Surah Al-Kawthar. What is the difference between Al-Kawthar and التكاثر? Al-Kawthar, as you know, إِنَّا أَعْطَيْنَاكَ الْكَوْثَرِ. It's something coming from Rabbil Izzah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from the side of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. التكاثر in itself are the words like trying to increase the amount of the things which I have. It means we have action to make it bigger and more. Once we are receiving something coming from Allah, from the side of Allah, it's already bounded. Even if it's showing in a one thing. Just for example, when I raise my hand right now, it's a one action. But how many muscles, how many things happened during the raising the hands? It's abundance. That's not coming from me. The power, it's coming from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked about the things coming from His side, He said Al-Kawthar. And the other side, we're going to look at our action in our life, what we are trying to do. Usually we are trying to increase the amount of the money in our hands and trying to increase the benefits we already getting from this dunya. And we tried as much as we can to increase the amount of the things we already using during the days and nights. But the main goal for the most of the people is the numbers, unfortunately. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He said أَلْهَاكُمُ التَّكَاثُرُ حَتَّى زُرْتُمُ الْمَقَابِرِ كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ ثُمَّ كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ كَلَّا لَوْ تَعْلَمُونَ عِلْمَ الْيَقِينِ لَتَرَوُنَّ الْجَحِيمِ ثُمَّ لَتَرَوُنَّهَا عَيْنَ الْيَقِينِ ثُمَّ لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ. A few words coming together to show a kind of position of somebody try to show off front of the other people, and they start to say, hey, who are you? We are here and we have. And they try to show themselves too against Him. It means we have a kind of competition over here. We have two sides competing each other. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling what you do. It's telling them, what are you doing? What are you doing? What you are looking for? What you're considering about yourself, your existence, your blessings, what you have. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He said, أَلْهَاكُمُ التَّكَاثُرُ, like the increasing the amount of the money in your hands distracted you against or from the one way we need to go through, the one achievement we need to have it, the one straight path we need to go through. Otherwise we are distracted with a lot of things around me. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when He gave the money to the people, He gave it to them as one of the ways to cross this dunya, to achieve the akhirah, to be in the other side. It's like a kind of boat or shape we are using through the ocean. Until the other side, we're going to leave it behind us. We cannot take the boat with us to put it in a living room or to save it like next to the bed. It doesn't make any sense. You know, the boat, the shape, whatever you have, it's gonna be in the water over there. The money in this dunya, like the shape, you can use it until you pass the water to the other side. This is the philosophy of the money in our life. Because of that, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أَلْهَاكُمُ التَّكَاثُرُ, the money, the counting, the numbers, distracted you from being in the akhirah with the safe position. حَتَّى زُرْتُمُ الْمَقَابِرِ, until you visited the graves. We have two opinions of the ulama here. One of them said, until you visited the maqabir, the graves, to see the position of the people over there and saying, oh wow, what we're gonna do when we have that position. And you're feeling, some of the people feeling a kind of regret. At that time, you're gonna remember Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and trying to do so and so, until being busy again and jumping to the dunya, back and forget everything, until coming back to the grave, to grave somebody, to parade somebody, or to doing some, this is one of the interpretations. The second one, until you're coming to be graved, to be buried in this place. At that time, you have no control on the dunya. You have no way of changing the decision about your life. Now, you are too late to do anything else. You are in a position, a spot. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, حَتَّى زُرْتُمُ الْمَقَابِرِ. He said subhanahu wa ta'ala, كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ. Indeed, you will know the reality, the fact, one time. But when that time gonna come, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one knows when that time gonna come to know the reality. Do we have a chance to know the reality from now? Yes, we have a chance. How? Once we are reading in the Quran the stories about some people like Qarun and Fir'aun and Haman and all of those people, they already passed away before us, and we're gonna look at the righteous people, they already spent their life in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have a few examples over there. Nuh alayhi salam spent 950 years just for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for the da'wah. And we have Ibrahim alayhi salam, we have Ismail alayhi salam, we have Isa alayhi salam, we have all of those prophets. Musa alayhi salam, how many times he was struggling with the people and so. I'm trying to make the story short. But at the end of the day, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling me, you will know the fact one time. ثُمَّ كَلَّا سَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, كَلَّا لَوْ تَعْلَمُونَ عِلْمَ الْيَقِينِ. If you know the fact with the reality, لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ الْجَحِيمِ. لَتَرَوُنَّ الْجَحِيمِ ثُمَّ لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنِ النَّعِيمِ. You're gonna see, imagine, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is emphasized to us, you're gonna see the punishment in front of your eyes one time. ثُمَّ لَتُسْأَلُنَّ يَوْمَئِذٍ عَنْ النَّعِيمِ. One time you're going to be asked about everything you have in your hand. One of the Sahaba asked the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, you know our position, our situation, what we're going to be asked about. We have nothing. It was a period time of the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It was like a period time. Everybody was like a poverty. It was a tough time for everybody. And the people came to him sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Ya Rasulullah, what do we have to be asked about? We have nothing. Al-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, إِنَّ ذَلِكَ لَكَائِنٌ. It's gonna happen. How come? The Prophet Muhammad tried to let them know, to understand what is the position if I can stand. What is the value of talking to you? What is the value of opening my eyes to have that sight, to see the people in front of me? What is the value of the things which we have? It's unlimited ni'am coming to us from Rabbil Alameen subhanahu wa ta'ala, and nobody can, it's giving. We cannot deny all of that. But we need to emphasize the ni'mah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The main question over here, and we're going to end it up with, can we have money, or we're going to leave everything behind us because of the akhirah? The main idea, how we are controlling the money in our hands. Does the money really in our hands or in our hearts? Do we live the money more than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or we love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more than the money? When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asking us to give the money for somebody, we're going to give it, or we're going to say the money, it's mine, I cannot give it to anybody else. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us a chance to have the dunya in our hands, to be the most richest people. Don't worry about that. But the point, if we're going to be like a slave or a servant of the money, or we are still making the money as a slave or as a servant for us. I ask Allah subhanahu